It is time to throw wide the gates, my friends, because finally we can travel between regions, or at least in a limited fashion for a certain test period. So currently, if you're live on any region of the game, you'll have noticed that when you right-click your character or sub-command on the character selection screen and go to visit another data center, you will also see, in addition to your usual fare, you will also see the Oceanic Data Center and Materia. So this is the first time they've ever allowed us to go between regions. And Oceanic Data Center, obviously in the southern hemisphere of the planet in real life, obviously with New Zealand and Australian characters all inhabiting Materia for the most part, apart from those of you who play on Tonbri. Shout out to Tonbri server on Japanese servers. Hello, bye. So obviously we can go over there now and say hello. So all you do is go to your character selection screen and go to subcommand or right click on your character, visit data center. Obviously we're on Chaos at the moment, and you choose your destination. We choose Materia, and then we choose one of Materia's servers. As far as I know, Sephiroth was where the new hotness was, if I remember correctly. A few people I know play on Sephiroth, a few of you play on Sophia. Let me know, what's the best Materia server? Where do you play if you play on Materia? We're going to visit Sephiroth in particular today because, well, yeah, why not? Let's go say hello. This is the first time I've ever done this, and this is my first live reactions to this. It should just be as simple as that, right? Yeah? It'll now be transported to Sephiroth in the Materia data center. Less than 1 minute. Please note the following. This process may take several minutes to complete. You will be unable to cancel this process whilst it's underway, and you'll be unable to log in with a different character until this process has been completed. Travel times may take longer during periods of server congestion. So of course, expansion launches, patch launches, and probably even at peak times once other people are testing this. If you want to obviously do the game a solid, give the test period a go. Definitely try it out, see what you like, see what you dislike, give some feedback. Square Enix deserve to have a bit of a stress test on this, because the future is that it won't be locked just to Oceanic. We'll be able to open the world, open the gates very literally, and play with people between EU and US at the very least. Obviously Japanese servers, things like that. But obviously there might be some restrictions in the future. This is just a test sort of bed for this. Let's see what it looks like. Proceed. So now we wait. How long is this going to take? That's a good guess. Let's just sit tight and wait. We'll count up the time. We'll speed it up so you don't have to listen to me. And there we go. Meoni, Whitetail, Ragnarok has arrived safely on Sephiroth. Let's go and log in to Sephiroth then and see what it looks like. So there we go. I already had a character on Sephiroth. I'm probably not going to end up having any alts on any other servers now. The main reason for me to create alts originally was to play with people on other regions. If this goes well and I can just play one character, then this is fantastic for me. So there we go. Let's just log in. It does say your character is currently in a data center different from your home world. To return, select return to home world before logging back in. So the way you would do that, the way you go back is subcommand or right click, and you would go to return to home world, and you have the same loading screens and things like that. But if you're wondering how to escape, so don't just log off here and then immediately think that you could do it from your own server. You do actually have to come back to this character selection screen on the Sephiroth screen or wherever you've gone to, and subcommand or right click to return home. So there is a bit of a queue, which is not unheard of. I think a lot of people are going to be testing this out. The first time we've ever been able to play our main characters together on one hub. I'm expecting it to be a little bit laggy. I'm not going into this with any kind of expectations that it's going to be a flawless experience, but we're going to give it a go. I think the thing on the table for today is we'll do an alliance raid and see what it's like. But already, as you can see, as we log in, all of these wonderful people. And you'll also notice, because we're from a different region, they've given us the Voyager title. So instead of Traveler, we now have Voyager. So if you were wondering what we got, Voyager. We are a Voyager into the unknown. And there's all these people chilling out, look, doing their own thing. It's so good to see. So in terms of packet loss, what's this? 614 receiving, sending 19. Ooh, receiving 999. Okay, well, that's not a fair estimate. We'll have to see what it's like in actual content. So I think Fran, my girlfriend, has actually come over here somewhere. I'll try and meet up with her. Ah, there's a Fran. Excellent. Let's get Fran in our party. Here we go. Let's change to Hyala. Ooh, a little bit of latency between actually changing jobs. It's not that noticeable. Let's see. In terms of a cast, so pressing Q2 now. What about slide casting? Ooh. Okay. Seems to be rather intermittent, actually, latency-wise. Okay. Right, let's try this out in some content then. I don't expect it to be lag-free. I'm really excited to see what this is like. Let's do an Alliance raid roulette and see what happens. See what we got. Boom, instant queue. This is where it's going to be something weird. I'm not going to show the entirety of an Alliance raid because that would be, you know, a long video. Just highlights of my sort of opinions, what it feels like, and then an overview at the end. It's not exactly the... I mean, any content is good content to test. It doesn't really matter what we try, but combat-related stuff is definitely going to be one of the things that people ask for the most, other than PvP, which we could also try as well. Oh, I didn't update my portrait. I'm a terrible human being. Okay, cool. Labyrinth of the Ancients. Not surprising there. Which is probably better that we got this one. Less spoilers for newer players, since this is like one of the first that you see in the entire game. So we've got lots of Voyagers here, look. So regular players don't have that, but there's quite a lot of us Voyagers. I think there's probably more people Voyagers here than there is anything else. All right, let's get into this and see what it's like. My expectations for this, honestly, are pretty low. I just want the ability to be able to do it. I don't mind lag. The ability to group up with people, especially if you're watching this. 90% of the viewers of my YouTube channel are pretty much from North America. And I've never had the opportunity to play a character with the same, you know, unlocks and progress as my main character. I've never been able to play that on an alt. I haven't had the time or the energy to get it to the same level of unlocks. I've invested so much time, like many of you, into one character, because that's what you're supposed to do, right? That's the main focus. So alts have always been just kind of a bit far behind and less interesting to play. So I'm excited to see how this feels. So we're not going to get a good idea for this until probably the bosses, maybe? I don't know. Maybe some basic mechanics, things like that. But so far, I mean, I'm not seeing anything too different. Boss number 1, the Bone Dragon. Is there actually... I suppose there are a couple of mechanics I can test out, actually. I don't think there's going to be too much noticeable from even something like this. I think the best test will be on Wednesday. I plan to live stream our glamour and mount runs, so we'll probably end up doing some extremes and probably some savage stuff just to see what it feels like. Okay, the Bone Dragon is not going to be a very good example. I think the real thing will be probably the last boss, or I don't know. Yeah, I'm not even sure that Thanatos is going to be that much of a... I don't know. Yeah, there's not really anything to avoid on this. Maybe we'll just burn through this and see. I'm trying to find things to nitpick at the moment, but nothing is really that noticeable. If you've ever played on like a US server from EU, like you've made a character, an alt there, this doesn't even feel that bad. Like it doesn't feel as much as laggy as when I've done that in the past. Honestly, I'm trying to see if I can feel anything by... I mean, there's a little bit here and there. Like, it still recognizes your position a lot earlier as you not moving. Like, if you're trying to slide cast, for example, the cast still goes off. Whereas if I would do that on my home server, obviously... Sorry, I'm not doing mechanics here, am I? I'm just testing things out. But, there we go. Now we can do boss damage. But I'm just trying to see if there's anything with that cast bar. See, even that. Okay, there we go. That one. So it seems a little bit intermittent, but honestly, I don't think that's going to be that problematic, even in something like Savage raiding. Yeah, it really isn't noticeable. Like, if anybody had told me that they'd logged in my character or something on an oceanic data center and then said, hey, so... and let me play the game, I would just think this was... I'd probably notice a little bit, maybe on something like Benediction, but then it's got a bit of a delay anyway. I don't know. This is really quite polished. And obviously people are testing it. Again, we're not at peak times. It's currently 1 p.m. where I am. But again, does that really make sense to compare? Because it's probably... What time is it in Australia right now for 1 p.m. GMT? I'd have to bring up a thing. But again, some of these Voyagers might be from the US. Huh. It'd be interesting if they incorporated some kind of like flag feature so you could figure out where people were from. Or maybe that would be a bad idea, I'm not sure. Maybe a good test of it would be the behemoth meteors? I don't know. Okay, so, yeah. Looks normal to me. Okay, let's get a couple of these people up. Yeah, I'm not feeling any differences here. I mean, will Phlegathon be the ultimate challenge for this? I'm not sure. I'm really not. I mean, there are some things that latency won't account for, and that's people not standing on a platform in time, but that's not really the server's fault. So, yeah, we might move on to something that would be more recognizable. And there we go. Easy mode. This is our first cross-region commendation, and we're going to give it to this fantastic warrior. Oh, this fantastic red mage. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's try something different. Let's try trial roulette, because trials, obviously, maybe there'll be something a little bit more strenuous for me to notice. Okay, it's Shiva. All right, again, that's a good option. Less spoilers, the better. Pretty early in the game, obviously. So let's see. I'm trying to think of what there could be in Shiva that could be a problem. I don't think there's many things. It is a hard mode, but yeah, I don't know. Will we gain any information from this? I have no idea. One thing to note, though, always be as courteous as possible when you are cross-region traveling, because I've noticed that some people are speaking in Japanese in chat, some people are speaking in other languages, and of course, we have American players, we have British players, we have European players. It is amazing to see just the whole world being able to play the game together. So when people do ready checks and things before bosses, that might not be something you've seen before. When people have different ways of communicating, like things like it, just be as courteous as possible. Wait for your sprouts. If they're watching cutscenes, don't complain at them. Just the usual general attitude that you should have anyway. Just try to be a good representation of a place that you come from, right? Imagine you were the first time you were playing this game. The least, the thing you wouldn't want to see, don't be that guy. That's all I'm going to say. That's my advice to you. And I think that's something to live by. All right, let's see. I mean, I still haven't updated my portrait. Fran's updated hers with her mustache. Never gets old. Never gets old. I love Fran's portraits. All right, let's see what we have then. Okay, so there's some AoEs to drop. Doesn't seem any different than normal. so far. It feels quite snappy, actually. This doesn't feel like we're playing on a different server. Not at all. We got to do the bee's knees. We obviously have to do the bee's knees. Freeze me. Make me pretty. Well, that's certainly a pose. Such a cool fight. Okay, some basic AoEs. Yeah, nothing seems that different. Going to test things out, is it? A little bit of extra noticeable lag on Benediction there, maybe by a couple of extra milliseconds, but there's usually a bit of a lag before you know, when you press it to when it lands. Another commendation. Oh, that is a spiffing Lalafell. We'll give them the comm there. Very cool. Let's move on. All right, let's try some normal raids. What are you going to give us, game? I still haven't updated my portrait. Okay, this actually is probably a better test. Not noticing anything different this time so far. Still early, though.
I mustn't disappoint. Lady Ina.
Completely forgot that this is different from the Savage mode. I was like, what is that mechanic? Oh, that's what that mechanic is. When you learn a fight on one difficulty and then you do it on the other. Oh boy. And the same with the previous tier as well. It's quite funny. Yeah, this is perfectly playable. There's not even remotely a problem. I'm pretty sure I could probably do the high-end raid stuff, I'll be honest. Like, the differences in latency are minimal at best. There might be a few noticeable bits here and there, but for the most part, I'm quite impressed with how the server is updating, and my position, like my location, like position coordinates of my character are pretty accurate, even with this sort of latency. It might vary with the different regions in the future. Hopefully that we get access to, if we can jump over to NA servers with our main character from here, but yeah, I don't know. This is perfectly fine. Oh my goodness, Harrowing Hell hits for nothing on the normal mode. Oh boy, I am so used to the Savage by this point. Yeah, I'm not seeing any issues with line AoEs or anything like that, personally. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this at all. This is absolutely one of the most impressive tests I have seen. Like, that was flawless. Absolutely flawless. I cannot believe how good that was. Okay, what might be the penultimate test then? Crystalline Conflict on casual difficulty. We don't want to mess up any ranked progress by being on a team and me lagging out potentially. Let's see what it feels like then. So of course, some of these people, they might not be Voyagers, I'm not sure. And we're going to do some Dragoon PvP and see what it feels like, right? I don't think it's gonna... I'm on the opposite team from my girlfriend. I know who we're going to be focusing. Let's see what it feels like then. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. But this is the only thing I can think of that, like, even remotely could be an issue. Okay, throw wide those gates. Let's have a look then. Let's see how this feels. So there's Fran. She's my new focus target. Oh. Hmm. Doesn't feel too dissimilar so far to what I'm used to. Is it that problematic? Probably not. Honestly, it's just... Yeah, some nights on EU are like this, to be perfectly honest. Sometimes they feel like this. There's not a lot to really be had from testing this, I think. Maybe we should try at peak times instead or something. But this feels kind of normal. A little bit of latency there. That was a little bit more noticeable. I think it's more noticeable in PvP than anything else I've done so far. But that is probably, you know, an obvious statement. Obvious statement is obvious. PvP is going to be slightly different. Because the net coding is going to work a little bit differently, isn't it? But it's not impossible. Like, not even remotely. It is genuinely impressive. Not my PvP skills, but the fact that this is even doable. That this is even happening. Yeah, there's a little bit of latency on the shields there, I've noticed. I can see myself setting up like miniature tournaments maybe even doing some PvP nights with some viewers. That sort of thing. Yeah. The possibilities that this opens up are endless for a content creator, especially. At least I think so, anyway. Unbelievable, Fran. Come back here. Come back. Fran's giving me the old loop around. Come on. At least I have to get a kill on my girlfriend. Come on. Come on. No. Why? No. She's too strong. No. No, my button press was later than I thought. That's so annoying. Wait, okay, so that demonstrates the latency a little bit. Mission accomplished. Fran deleted. Barely, though. Barely. I'm not going to hear the last of that later. I wonder what it looks like for someone on their servers, though. Am I lagging around on screen? This is why I probably wouldn't do any ranked. I don't think it'd be fair for the teams I'd be put into. I'd probably be a massive, you know... I'd probably lower the skill level of their team by being on it. But for casual, this is a lot of fun. An absolute blast. Hey! Commendation. You get the commendation. 4 kills, 9 assists, 3 deaths. Not my finest performance by any stretch of your imagination, but proof of concept, that is brilliant. I'm having so much fun with this. So yeah, in summary, I'm very impressed with this feature. It is something that I hope that they continue to develop, and I really hope to see more of it in the future. This is by no means the end of my testing. I plan to do like I say, some event nights and things on the Oceanic Data Center. If you want to take part in this, it was EU only before. We're going to go for some mount runs, glamour runs and stuff. That's at Wednesday. We're going to start at 6 p.m. GMT. If you want to meet on Sephiroth server, send me a message, join our Discord, maybe sign up for a couple of the upcoming events. But that's what we're going to do. Put it to the test and do what we always do, farm glamours and do some high-end bits and pieces and see what we can get. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you've thought about this. Have you been enjoying your visit to Oceanic? Have you met some friends that you have been long departed since, you know, from the original split? I don't know. I can't wait to meet some people. So come and say hi. Much love. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.